that we feel like we can use moving forward, just improve a little bit in some areas. And I really believe we hadn't played our best ball yet collectively, in all three phases. And that's really what we're trying to get to here, man, is, how can we sharpen ourselves? We know it's going to take every phase. Every game's different, and one unit may have to pick up the slack, but, man, we need to start playing complete ball across the board and just keep improving, right, like with all these teams that we're in the race with right now. So that's where we're at. Obviously, we got Minnesota coming in. We'll hit more on that tomorrow, but really good opponent, obviously know them, they know us, and so it'll be a big one for us. Questions?
You've had these different midseason revelations over the years as you've maybe taken a look at your practice film or your game film and wanting to get maybe a guy more involved than you've had previously. And I'm just wondering if, as you kind of were evaluating the roster here, is there anybody that stood out that you feel like maybe you haven't utilized or is coming on strong here in the second half?
Yeah, there's some things that I feel like we can do a better job with. I'm not going to highlight who those are, but there's certainly some guys. It's like, man, how do we set them up to have success, to help us, their production in certain areas, just to really use what they have. That's one. The other thing, I told the guys this morning, I look at, just production versus negatives, and because that's big too, and vice versa. Sometimes you have guys that, you may think that there's a lot of production, but yet, man, there's a lot more negatives that could outweigh those. Those are little things that I looked at across the board, and vice versa. It's like this guy does nothing wrong, but yet there's no production. So you want to verify some things. You want to make sure you see things properly. And so that's what a lot of it is. But there's some guys that, man, certainly we can help them, and by helping them, they're going to help us tremendously.
Aaron got his first win over the weekend.
Yeah.
Ben's doing some pretty good things in Chicago. Just wondering how closely you followed both of them this year and what you think it might mean for anybody else on your staff that, in the future gets a chance to be head coach.
Well, I don't know what that means for that, but I did watch. I didn't watch the whole game. I just saw I watched the score. I saw the end of it. I'm keeping up with AG. I'll text back and forth with him. I'm a huge fan, obviously, and so it was good to see. I know that was tough, man. You're down a couple of scores, and they rallied back, hung in there, and found a way to win. And it's just to get that first one, it's a good feeling. So happy for all those guys.
Do you think it'll have any bearing in the future, maybe, on guys? If somebody did well from the program.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's not going to hurt, right? The more wins you can, the more it could help those things. But look, both of those guys just, you go into a new program, and there's a reason why you just got hired, because things weren't going the way that those organizations want them to go to. So it takes a minute. It just does, and you don't know when that'll come. How long it's going to take, and, and patience is always going to help.
You were pretty excited going into the bye about the potential of getting some guys back post-bye. Is there anybody that you're thinking maybe could return to action this week, or that you're excited about potentially getting back?
We're getting some guys back to practice, that's the number one thing. We'll take a good look at Arnold. He's going to practice tomorrow, get him worked in, see how he feels, see what it looks like. He feels good. He says he feels good. And he has been kind of running around a little bit, but we'll be padded up tomorrow, and so we'll get a really good look at him. We started Thomas's clock, so he'll be running around out there, and I think we're going to start Rodriguez tomorrow. We'll start his clock. So those are all pretty good things right now with where we're at.
Dan, in your sort of 10,000-foot view, how much was of the self-scout this past week was offense, and how much room do you think there is to get better, and maybe what are some of the areas?
Yeah, well, I think for me, most of it was offense, not all of it. I looked at teams, I looked at defense, and certainly I had Shep and Phip look at those too. But a lot of it was offensively too, and things that I know we can get better at. And I really believe you tighten a screw here, you tighten a belt, and all of a sudden this thing is running like a well-oiled machine. So. Just a couple of things, that's all. So easily correctable things that we can do better. And I'm talking about coaches and players, myself, all of us. So, but that was part of it.
Harder to deal with at home during a bye week, or easier to deal with?
It's a question for my wife. She would tell you I'm not. Yeah, I'm saying it's a bye, and I'm not working, but I'm working. So. The mind is always there, unfortunately for her. So, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm easy to deal with or not. She handles it well. I know that.
And I'm curious. I think we recognize the talents that Amon-Ra and Jameer are. They're, among the best in the league at their positions. What is the balance when you have superstars like that, wanting to feed them weekly, and then I guess maintaining an overall balance to your offense, because we also know that you have a lot of really great secondary weapons.
Mm-hmm. Well, number one, this is where you always have to, man. What do you got to do to win that game? I'm going to always start there, and then inside of that, how do we spread this ball around, use those weapons, ask them to do things that they're really, really good at, and a lot of times to really do that and hum the way you want to, you got to convert, man. You got to convert third downs into first downs or fourth downs into first downs, because now you got another 4 plays, 3 to 4 plays, and then so on and so forth. And so, just to this point, I know some of it has been we are not getting the plays that we normally get because we have not converted like we should on third down. Third down is the most glaring thing right now. We have to be better. I mean, that is it's right there. So those are things that Johnny looked at, myself, and that's been the focus, the big focus for us is, making sure we find a way to convert. And look, and it starts there, but it's also, man, it's one player here, it's one thing here, it's one misstep, it's could be the release, it could be. So it's then that falls into, oh man, everybody's doing it right, one guy misses on the assignment. And then we go to the next play, and now that guy got it right with the other 9, but another guy missed his, and that hurts, But that's what happened, man. You get in a rhythm, you get in a flow, you do your job, and then pretty soon we're clicking. So nothing to panic over, but there's certainly room to improve.
Bring up the third downs. You did bring up the third downs before the bye as well. Is that? Is it down in distance as well? Or are you facing longer third downs this year? Or
No.
Is it just
I really don't feel – no. I feel like there's a lot of things we've actually missed on third manageable. Man, the mid-range third down. So we're where we want to be to have a shot at converting. It's just we got to get it done, And that it really is collective, man. It's all of us. There's things that we can do to really help our guys. And then it falls on them too. So it's collective, man. It's the whole unit. And I know we talked about that. And so, look, we're just going to keep tweaking it. We're going to keep working it. And hopefully we get better this week. That's the plan. That's why we're putting in the work we're putting in. And then we will when they come back on Thursday. Tomorrow's base, but then we have third down. We'll do good on good again against our defense. And we'll just keep going until we get it improved. We'll find a way here. I'm sorry.
Are some of those third downs skewed, though, by your strategy to kind of go for it on fourth down? I mean, you're using third down to set up the fourth down play?
They can be, but when you don't convert on fourth, then that doesn't help either, And not that it's been one of those, but there are the last 2 weeks, we've just missed on a couple of fourth downs, and normally I don't think of those, like I don't throw those into, yes, you'd be correct, but I don't think of those ones where we're just trying to get manageable, and if you get the first, great. If you don't, now take those aside, we're not good enough right now on third down. That's what I do know.
I was just curious, manageable, is that 3rd and 4 to 6? Is that kind of what
That's how I look at it, yes. 3rd and 4 to 6. Those are manageables.
One of the
the Vikings have had a lot of different quarterbacks when you've played them over the last couple of years. I'm just curious, what is the thing that impresses you the most about the way that they're able to kind of make it work no matter who's under center? And then the second part of the question, are you preparing to face a particular quarterback this week?
We'll be. I mean, I'm assuming that McCarthy's going to play, but we'll be ready for, whoever they have. I don't foresee things changing that much per quarterback. Certainly, if he does play, they're going to want to calm it down for him, ask him to do things that he does well, help him out there, try to establish the run game there, get 18 the ball, all the things that you would think of. But O'Connell does an unbelievable job, and that staff. They always do. It doesn't matter the quarterback. They're going to find a way to take the pressure off the areas they need to and then put it somewhere else and find a way to convert, move the football, it helps the defense. The defense gets takeaways. They're disruptive over there. So yeah, I mean, O'Connell's done a hell of a job. They always do. So to your point, it really doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. They'll be prepared. They'll be ready to come in this game to move the football and score points. That's what we're going to be dealing with weapons too. They've got weapons. So.
Yeah, just going into really training camp, one of the biggest questions was the interior offensive line, those three guys. Just kind of curious, with a month and a half to reflect on tape, where do you think they are at and how far, I guess, do they need to go? They
have improved. Graham has been steady in there in the middle, and both of our guards have improved. I mean, there is clear and noticeable improvement. There's a lot to go. And they know that. There's so much room to get better, and I expect them to take another step. They're going to need to take another step. They know that, and because when that happens, and collectively we'll all get better, and that whole unit will get better. But, man, they from where we came from Green Bay, they have taken noticeable jumps. So I like where they're trending. We got to keep going.
Okay.